Call the meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to convene as the Walworth County Planning and Zoning Board. Is there any old business? Any new business?
Hearing none, I move for adjournment.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. I need a second.
Second.
Got a second. Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passed. Convene as Walworth County Board of Zoning Adjustment. Is there any old business? New business?
Move for adjournment.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor. I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second. Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passed. I'd like to convene as Board of County Commissioners. Approval of the agenda. Gary called me, he'd like to add a couple of things. The first one is to consider hiring one operator for the highway. And then he wants the D3WN project discussion in motion added. And then we need one for the jail to the sheriff department, a budget supplement. Right, Becky?
For 2020.
Do I gotta say the amount?
We're doing that as a transfer.
We have to do it as a budget supplement. You have to advertise it.
Anything else on the agenda? If not, I'd take a motion to approve.
I so move.
I got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second, any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion passed. Public forum. Okay, number 14, consider motion to approve county commission minutes of November 17th, 2020. You guys all had a chance to go over them? Yes.
On here, this should read budget supplement for 2020 instead of 2021 on the 17th. That's what we approved, or that's what we moved to advertise. That's 214,000.
Well, and that's gonna have to be rescinded because there's not that much in there. That's why I added that today. There's only 150,000 that we can transfer.
Oh.
But I can change that in the minutes, but it'll have to be
Yeah,
rescinded
and it should
today.
reflect 2020 for that one.
Okay.
Anything else?
I move for approval.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second, any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion passed. Number 15, consider motion to approve county commission minutes of November 24th, 2020. You all have a chance.
I move for approval.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second it.
Got a second, any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion passed. Number 16, consider motion to approve claims to be paid as presented. You guys all had a chance to look at the claims?
I so move.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor. I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second. Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passed. Okay, number 17, consider motion for abatement of record 8893.
Deb?
I have an abatement for an airplane hangar at the Mobridge Airport that was just gone before the assessment date. So he's just now noticed it. It's for 20, that he got another tax bill on it. And it happens because we're a year behind. So.
Some Harleys.
No, it's, Rivers. And it is record number 8893. And the total with interest and penalty is $66.11. And the reason is that the structure no longer existed at the legal assessment.
Okay.
I so move.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor. I need a second.
I'll second.
I took Schwammer.
I got a second. Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passed. Okay. Consider motion to approve campground lounge alcoholic beverage renewal.
I would so move.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor. I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second. Any more discussion on that?
Shouldn't we be doing a bunch of these now, or?
Well, we did Mobridge Country Club last meeting, I think it was, or the meeting before, and then this one, I'm just doing them as I'm getting them in.
Don't they have to have them in like the first of January or something?
Yeah, they have to be sent back to the state, but we sent them out, and we just have to wait for them to fill them out and return them.
Oh, you said, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
The state sends them to us, we send them to them. They have to get their stuff done and send them back. Then we send it back to the state.
Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passed. Josh?
Could we start with rescinding that motion that was made at that November 17th meeting to transfer $214,000? Because the budget remaining in the jail is only at $157,000, so we discussed doing it for $150,000.
So we gotta I need a motion to amend
To
that.
rescind.
that motion.
So Holgard made the motion, so he should make a motion to rescind it.
I'll make a motion to rescind the motion.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor. I need a second.
I think it's a second.
Got a second. Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passed.
And now if we could have a motion to advertise to transfer and supplement for $150,000
From the jail to the sheriff.
from the jail to the sheriff.
I would so move.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor. I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second. Any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passed.
Then the other one on there is the resolution. Scott?
She was at 1568 instead of 1565 like I thought, so I changed it on here before I handed it out.
So this one's right now, thank you.
Yes.
That's the correct one with the revised stuff, what Kevin brought up, and then there was something with one of the wages that was fixed.
Okay, so I would need a motion to revise resolution 2020-04.
Guys, I just had one question before that. She's at 1568 right now,
Correct.
and are you building in an automatic 50-cent raise after 3 months?
I'm still gonna do that to get her up to where the other ones are, correct?
Okay,
That's what my plan is.
I guess my thinking would be, being at salary, go straight to the 1618, give her the 50 cents right away. Every other department does that. They don't have a 50-cent increase after 3 months. Just start them off at the 1618. Use that as their salary, and they don't have an increase after 3 months. Be a lot easier for the salary part.
Can we do that change right now, or, I mean, it doesn't,
But is that really fair?
Every other department starts off and does the same thing. Nobody else has a 50-cent increase after 3 months.
That's kind of the probationary period.
yeah, it's a probationary period, and it's one of the jail staff, so that's why I stayed with that. She hasn't completed the probationary period, so I just thought we'd stay with the current condition on what we were doing. And then, once she takes the correspondence course also, and finishes that, she's also eligible for an increase. Which was handed out to her yesterday, correct? Yes.
I would say that's more of an incentive to get their training and stuff done.
I'm pretty positive she will.
So how many?
What's the board want to do?
How many increases are we looking at?
Just the probationary, and then once they complete the correspondence course.
Which usually takes how long?
Well, there's three phases to it, so that they can complete it. It depends on how fast they work at it. Some take longer, some complete it rather fast. So it could be in 4 months. It could be next month.
Is this gonna create a problem with the salary parts, or?
No, the increases won't, I mean, we'll have to change it, obviously, but
Yeah, but with that variation in there, her salary would fall within that range
Yeah.
either way, correct?
yeah, the resolution we needed to change because of the range.
I guess as long as you're all right with it.
I'd need a motion for that, to revise the resolution.
I'll make a motion to accept the revised resolution.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second it.
Got a second. Any more discussion on that?
It should probably be read.
Can we read it all then?
Whoever, somebody should read it.
Okay. Resolution WC 2020-04 revised 11/17/2020. Resolution establishing a number of compensation of the deputies allowed for the office of the county sheriff. Whereas the Walworth County Board of Commissioners have deemed it necessary for the prompt dispatch of business in the office of the county sheriff that is one or more deputies, jailers, or clerks to be appointed therein. Whereas South Dakota Codified Law 7-12-9 outlines the procedure for fixing the number and compensation of the deputies of the office of county sheriff. Now therefore be it resolved that the Walworth County Board of Commissioners fixes the number and compensation of the sheriff's office for personnel SDCL 7-12-9 as follows for 2020. Possessions, sheriff, 54,388.62 salary. Chief deputy, 1 full-time. Sergeant deputy, 1 full-time. Part-time deputy, 3 part-time positions, 2 at 460 hours a year, each to equal 920 total hours, and 1 at 120 for a total of 1,040 total hours available for 2020. Transport officers, 4 full-time jail nurse. Third in, should it say jail nurse?
We got a couple of issues there, I just pointed out one up on top. Where you started reading in there, deputies, jailers, it should be transport officers. And I don't know how that jail nurse needs to be written then either. If we should just have on-staff nurses.
I'm not gonna keep reading if I don't have to.
I think we gotta change that other deal to jail nurse.
Wonderful.
Does that need to be changed to just
Inmate nurse?
inmate nurse or something? That make more sense?
Yeah. Okay,
So then what's on the top one has to change then?
at the top it says county sheriff that 1 or more deputies, jailers, or clerks be appointed. We need to change jailers to transport officers. And the revised date will be 12/3/2020. Hopefully we're done with it.
So, should I just go back from the beginning again then?
No.
How was that?
Just enough to changes in jail to inmate, jail nurses.
Well, I wasn't to that one yet, so I'll just say inmate nurse, 3 part-time, PRN as needed. Administrative assistant, full-time position, 3,080 total hours available for 2020. Compensation, chief deputy, 2085 per hour, sergeant deputy, 2051 per hour, part-time deputy, 1933 per hour, transport officers. The salaries range from 32,654.40 to 36,462.40. Salary, no overtimes. Inmate nurse, 38.42 per hour. Administrative assistant, 15.95 per hour. Be it further resolved that the Walworth County Board of Commissioners fixes the number and compensation of the sheriff's office personnel per SDCL 7-12-9 as follows for 2020. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passed. Just hear you out.
Okay, I heard his voice someplace.
Just a second, Gary. Just have one question for Josh. What do you? I just got one other thing to bring up to you. What is Brandy doing in the jail yet? Anything? Nothing?
Well, she was part of my, one of my
Yeah,
part-timers.
but not anymore.
Right now, I'm down to 4 people, so.
Okay.
As of right now,
Okay.
full-time.
Alrighty. Okay, Gary. I got the stuff on there that you requested.
Pass that around what we're dealing with stuff. We got a bill from, Ty Enderberg for snow removal for 2018. I can't even tell you whether it's a county road or not. I guess I'll go on record that, I don't think we have any responsibility, but that's an issue for the state's attorney. Granted that even if we did have authority, we more than likely, we couldn't accept a bill like that if it wasn't pre-approved. I've been talking over the course of my comeback that we really need to take a serious look at what the county highway system is. And it's gonna be time consuming on my part, but I'm thinking over the winter, everybody gets on the same page in determining what modification should be done. And that's something for the future. If we modify the county highway system, I'm of the opinion that the public is gonna have a voice in modifying the county highway system.
I got one question, Gary, and maybe you can't even answer it. How does that work? I mean, even if it's I'm guessing that could be a private drive.
That's what needs to be clarified, Scott.
Okay, but I mean, I'm just wondering, I mean, even if it's a private drive, does a sign get put on that drive for, you know, like Coffee Street?
Yes.
Even if it's private?
If there's more than one resident there, as I understand.
So no matter what, I mean, even if it's not a county road, it'll still have, that's the only thing I'm asking.
Don't get 911 addressing and the county highway system has two different animals.
Okay. All right, you answered my
For
question.
instance, Von Thorson's out here, I remember from when I was here before that there was, the utility companies were asked to provide multiple telephone hookups. Utility companies by law will not provide that unless there's an address. So it puts pressure on the 911 system that, okay, if Vaughn's address was off of the approach location on 130th Street, that lot is assigned for everything. But once there's more than one hookup, then you have to change that address from one and name the road and then address off of the named road. It's pretty confusing, so. And like I said, don't let, I think that is Pine Drive or something like that. That's where the landowner has the authority to assign whatever name they want, as long as we get it in the system. We got a long ways to go, and there's going to be a lot of hurt involved in that, I think, so. You want to, let me,
Yeah.
when, on the planning and zoning side, if somebody develops a lot, for instance, no, I'm not gonna go to that one. I gotta be kind of careful. But if a lot is sold off and developed, there's a possibility, and Deb, feel free to intervene if you want, but my opinion that if a municipality controls the planning and zoning part by issuing building permits, if they have sole authority to do that and the county is out of the picture, technically they grant the building permit and there's no conversation at the time that will the county maintain this? And that's where we're at today. If there's a plat based on history, the plots, I'm gonna say 15 years ago, started coming out with a signature block for highway authority. Prior to that, there was no signature block. Once myself or somebody signs this as highway authority, that's a recognition that yes, we will take this road over. Prior to somebody like me signing the highway authority certificate, the question would be asked and the commission would be involved in, do we want to take this private driveway in? In the event the board or whoever determines that, no, we don't really need anymore. And let me rephrase that. Not a question of whether we need it or not, but officially determine then whether it's county maintenance. So,
I have the plot for Anderberg's, this is north. Her lots are 1, 2, and 3. And there's right away here, of 100 feet. But the city of Mobridge are the ones who approved this plot. And it's only signed by the treasurer, the director of equalization, the auditor, and so the city, and then the county then approves it. Or no, the county just filed it. So when the city approved it, they approved that right of way. I don't think that means that the county accepted that as part of their highway system. And like if we approve a plot in Casca and it has right of way in there, if we as a city approve that, the way we look at it is we have now accepted that right of way as part of ours, if we approve it, that, it's part of our streets. So, I don't know if that's how it works, but then did the city, when they approved this plot, did they also then approve that right of way? Because it doesn't say they didn't. And if they approved the right of way, then it should not be part of their system.
So most likely that should be the city of Mobridge's.
I'm not here to debate what government jurisdiction is. It's like, these things pop up because the lack of, I don't think performance is the right word, but that's the responsibility.
Planning and zoning has just gotten that much more involved. Like we have, now it has a place for Gary to sign, so even if it only involves an approach, we make sure that Gary is, signs that plat so that he approves where that approach is at. Just to kind of cover everything. And we certainly would do it if it was an actual any length of driveway, but we do it even in the case of, to make sure the approach is okay.
I think one of the problems that we run into is the county has done road work on that road in the past.
There, I can't remember when it was, Kevin, but I remember when Rachel and Penny and were,
Penny and
Vogel's in here.
Penny and Marty were both out there,
And
and
Vogel's.
I was out there, and we did haul gravel onto that road, and there was an agreement made that they would maintain part of the road for, they'd go in and blade it once a year or something like that. I don't remember what the actual agreement was, but I know there was an agreement made between Penny and Marty and the residents on that street.
I'm not sure, but I think it was Van Orman, Vogel, Annenberg, and Bergman.
So that's gonna be part of the issue, is there was an agreement made before Gary got back here.
But I mean, what was there, something wrote up or something?
I don't know if there was ever anything in writing. I don't think there was anything in writing, but I know that that was an agreement made between Penny and Marty and Birds and those other ones out there.
Maybe them two are here anymore, so my suggestion would be that they would have to come and speak to the commissioners about it, and not.
Well, I think Mowbridge needs to get involved in it too.
Right.
It should start with Mowbridge, I would say.
Basing it on everything that she was saying there, to me, it seems like if Mowbridge is the one that signed off and does all the plotting and gives the approval, to me, they've kind of given the acceptance that they're gonna take on responsibility for that road.
Maybe this is something that Jamie's gonna get the decision on.
With all due respect to the commission, commissions change, highway superintendents change. The damage has been done for 30 or 40 years. And so it puts us in a situation that the time has come where we make modifications to the county highway system. And at that time, you deal with all of the past issues in a composite type application that we will accept this one. And this isn't solely Mowbridge. It's the rural climate too, that the way it is, if they're located on a section line, section lines are part of the county highway system. As secondary could be unimproved or improved, but it's a little simpler than if they're building off a section line. Numerous cases since I've been back where there's building permits being granted that's out under private property. They're constructing roads, and what can you do? Are you gonna construct my road for me? It's like, no. On a section line, we will consider, based on the value, whether we will construct a section line road to accommodate access to your development layout. It's something that won't be fixed. It's gonna be really extensive.
We're gonna have permits in the country where there's not a new plat involved, where, they're gonna build a new house. Usually it's on a place where there's already buildings and stuff, but sometimes it's not, like the one up north in New Everett. And I don't think we can refuse a building permit, but we always tell them that anything about roads, they have to take up road hearing. So they should probably know that before they build. What the county's gonna do about their roads, approaches, whatever.
So I don't know what to tell you guys in regard to that bill. At a minimum, I think you tabled it for legal review.
I don't think we can just accept bills from. If that's the case, I could send you a bill every year that I open the road from my place to Dad's and back to a casket. Every time it snows, because I gotta get down that road. I don't think we can start paying for that. It'd been different maybe if it would have been pre-authorized or something, but.
In 96 and 97 with that snow season we had, there was farmers coming in and saying, you can hire me to do snow removal on the county road system. And it's like, I'm sorry, but nobody will be doing it, because how do we delegate what the cost is, what their coverage area is? So it's easier to say we will get it done when we get it done. To be frank, I kind of shot that down. That if you go out and plow snow on our roads, you're admitting right off the start that this is a free will donation.
I agree, we need to just table that for Jamie to look it over.
With the final comment with regard to Ty and Rachel, it's like we recognize what the issue is. At this stage of the game, it's going to take some time to resolve it. So.
Here, you want to go to? Rick right now? He's right behind you.
Bushy?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm here because I had a letter from Campbell County on some property that I own. I own a quarter in Campbell County that's connected to Walworth County. It's right on the county line. And we put my son-in-law actually did, I won't farm it anymore, but he rents it from me. He owns the Walworth County portion right on the south side of it. A fence across it, because for one thing, you can't get there. The road coming off of, that goes past our old farm there, I guess, I don't know, Stubby, you've been out there, it goes right, comes from Wormy Krause's, goes all the way out to 47, comes past there. I don't know if anybody's ever been out in that area. But from the Walworth County grade there, the good gravel there, going north, it's a mile to the Campbell County line there. Well, right off of the gravel there, the road is underwater and it's pretty much been washed out there. It's got trees laying on it, whatever. And when you get to the county line up there, you can't go left. Why, I don't know. It's never been. Brian and Steve Gill farmed that, and it just ends there. There's no county line from there until you get over toward closer to Kiplitz's place there on that north of Hartman's there. There's a T that comes there that is county line yet. But you can go right. And you can go right for half a mile, and then it turns and goes north. Now, in between that half a mile, I would say probably half the way, so it'd be a quarter mile from where we have it fenced. The road is completely gone. There was a culvert in there that washed out. And then when you turn and you go north, it's just probably an eighth a mile down there, it's the same way. And that's completely all underwater. You have one going north, which is none of your guys' business. That's in Campbell County. But when I went to Campbell County and I talked to them about it, and they gave me their statute on what they require for having this closed and stuff like this. It's a difficult situation because this road in the late 40s, early 50s is from what my dad told me. I'm not that old, so. Anyway, this was built up. It used to be graded and stuff, so it's got ditches and, culverts and stuff, and it's really steep ditches, and they used to grade that because it was a way to get from that gravel road to the one that goes, when it turns, it goes for half a mile east, and it turns and it goes 3 miles north, and it comes out by Scott Rau's place up there somewhere. So, all on that highway. But it's not passable. When the lawyer, this Crucci, I don't know how you pronounce his name, Mark was out there. He came in from the north and he said he couldn't get there to where we have it fenced on the north side. And when he came on the south side, he did admit he had to drive into Gill's field, which had been harvested, to get there. He said that's the only way you can get to this. Now, Campbell County did get a complaint. Scott Rau told me that he had a complaint from somebody that came in from the north at some time, a hunter. It was none of we own pretty much all the land for 2.5 miles going east of that way on both sides. So when I went there, they are going to want to look at putting a gate in them. But they are going to do theirs because it is improved as they're going to make me do a petition on it, and they also want to have the adjacent landowners sign off on it, which we are the only adjacent landowners that are on that. My concern is and I didn't bring this up to them because I don't know why, but I didn't think of it till later, but if they if we have to put a gate in there, let's say, for example, and I know that's the law, but somebody's gonna open that gate and they're gonna drive about a quarter of a mile or less, and they're gonna come to a area that they can't cross. I mean, it's not even crossable with a four-wheeler. That they're going to wreck a vehicle or something's gonna happen, and, you know, what happens in that instance? I mean, should the county be coming and saying, if we're not gonna put money into it, fix this, are we gonna, you know, should we close this, or should we put at least signs there that there, you know, there's no outlet through there? I mean, I don't know. We deal with stuff like this on the city level in Bowdle all the time. You know, once you're aware of a situation, are you liable for somebody's vehicle if they drive in there, if it's not posted that this, you know, that it's not able to be passable? Or I don't know. You know, I'm not a lawyer, but it would assume to me that once you're aware of a situation and you don't post it or fix it, that it would seem that it's a liability. I don't know. My question is, and Campbell County wanted me to talk with you guys because they are in favor of, on that county line portion of it, putting in a gate, but they can't give the approval for both halves. Let's just say it that way. You know, they say on their half, they're figuring nobody's gonna, you know, they have to have a public hearing on this that nobody would object to it, and then I know you guys have done some of these before, and I'm just, you know, like I said, I'm putting this out there because it's on the county line. They haven't dealt with one of these before, you know, so they said, well, yeah, we've done them in Campbell County and not an issue, but when it's on the line, we have to have both counties involved, so.
Why can't we just close that section line? It sounds like it shouldn't be open anyhow. We closed one down by your area, Jim.
We did. I guess I would like to see a map or look at it or something before we.
Jerry, are you familiar with this area? But I kind of question the same thing. If it seems like it's never been passable, and
Well, it was until
In the 40s.
you know, it was built in the 50s, and you know, up till about probably 20 years ago, they would grade it at least a couple times a year. You know, and I know I've talked with about I don't know how many years back. Les comes out, he blades the road out that way, and we hauled a bunch of gravel in there of our own, you know, from our pit we have up there, and then he went down and you know, graded it for us. Now, when Hiddenwood washed out, we had 8.3 inches of rain up there, and that's what did that road in. You know, up to that point, it was very passable. But there's
Talking up here by Elms.
oh, I can show you where it's at. It's closer to the. It's closer to.
Crowley, Novel.
It's over here. It's right here. Goes north right here. It's this road. You know, and they have it shown as, and then it hits the county line here, goes to there. Like I said, when you get here, you can't go on it at all. There's no road through there. It's fenced and whatever else all until you get to here.
According to this, it's actually the road actually stops before you hit the county line.
Yeah, it
According to this map. There's no road on the county line.
going this way, there's not.
Over here,
This is-
over here, it shows there's a road there.
Right, and that's going up to Gills this way and it gets this way. So that road is that's a good gravel road. This one is not. I mean, right here on this corner is where it's completely underwater right now. You can't go north. So when this lawyer went out there, he went out into Gill's field here to get around that, and even through here, right in through the middle here is where it's washed out, and then up in here. And this is what it does. It goes up here, it goes a half mile over, goes a half mile over, it doesn't go the full mile, and it goes north here. You can see they got an inlet right there. I suppose that's going to be what it is. But it goes north there, And, when you get north here a little ways, it's completely gone there, about 1/8 of a mile right off of this corner, right there it's gone. And in between here it's gone, and then right on the beginning it's gone. And like I said, if it had been a county line or a section line road that just was a grass, you know, and it would have washed through there, might be some ruts in there or whatever. But this road was developed, like I said, it's got ditches and whatever, there's areas where it's just completely gone.
That would be like a secondary county road, you think, Gary?
Wouldn't even be that. Well, it hasn't been traveled besides Hunter's and, well, the north and south road there, after we had all that rain, when Hiddenwood washed out, we hauled a bunch of gravel in there, lest it go down it and back to level it out. We ended up using it that year very well, and then that spring afterwards, we had a lot of melt, and we haven't been able to be on it since. That quarter that I own up there, we haven't farmed now in 2 years. Just can't get to it. And I know I've asked, you know, if the county's willing to you know, do something or to fix it or whatever, and obviously I know what it means. I mean, you gotta have money to do all that, and you start somewhere, where are you gonna quit? I understand that completely. But I'm concerned with some liability on that, because if we do open that gate or put a gate in up there, somebody drives through that, either it's gotta be marked that there's no outlet through there, or that there's no, you know, something's gotta be done there, because I can see where somebody's gonna come barrel along through there and they're gonna take out some axles or something, because that's just the way it is. I mean, you can't drive through there. It's not possible.
So you're asking to put a gate across that road?
Well, that's what I approached Campbell County with, and that was the letter that they sent me, was saying that, you know, it can't be just closed and not accessible. And I said, well, to me, that seems kind of redundant, because it's not accessible. You know, I mean, the fact that you can't get there legally for one thing, and the other fact is, once you went through there, you'd drive about 1/8 of a mile, and you'd have to turn around and come back out anyway, because you can't get through there. You can't drive a four-wheeler through there.
I mean, it's kind of foolish to be on a strictly a section line to be where we got a lot of roads that are in terrible shape that we should be attending to in that. Some section line that would cost a bundle of money.
It gets traveled by hunters. The road itself going to where we need to go, we've maintained that for years, and I would assume we still will. We can haul a few loads of gravel in there and whatever, you know, and that's the worst part of it. You do that and you get it fixed up, and then you get, in the fall, you get a little bit of rain or something, and these guys don't know when to stay off of them, and they dig it all up, and it's shot anyway after that, and it's a mess. But where we don't need, you know, we go up that road and we get to the end of it before it's gated, that's all we need to go. You know, we get into our field from there. We don't need to go down that one that's on the county line that goes east and west from there. And even the one going from the gravel road north to get there, it's bad, you know. But I understand, you guys just don't want, I should have brought along some pictures and had them here and showed you what that road looks like, and I can understand you're don't know me from Adam, and you're not just going to take my word for it, but you know, I'm telling you that's what it is. But
I guess that's what I was going to suggest. Is there a possibility that you could get some pictures of it, of the area, so you can see what's going on more than just trying to look at a map that you can't really see, and bring that back and present that, so we'd have a little better feel for what you're talking about? And I mean, to me, it seems kind of stupid to have the road going through there if you can't get anywhere.
well, that was my thinking
If
too.
it's a liability issue.
And I think about half the commission in Campbell County felt the same way, but they're just not really, you know, looking at vacating something like this And once you vacate an area, that doesn't mean it's that way forever. It's not ever gonna be farmed through or anything. It's not, it's a road, for God's sakes, there's ditches in there. We can't even hay it, because it's steep and it's, whatever. And that's the reason we fence off both ends of it. We can graze it out that way, and we don't have water on that Campbell County side. They gotta come back to the Walworth County side to do it, so we just allow them to, our cattle who fall like this now. And normally we've probably fenced this off for 25 years. We put it up in the fall for about 2 weeks, we take it back down. My son-in-law last year said, and I didn't realize it, he didn't take it down, and that's where we got complained at. Because he said, why would you take it down when nobody can get there? Would make sense to me. But obviously somebody did come around on private property and get there, and then they complained about it. But
Gary, could you and Terry go up, take a look at it, and see what your recommendations are for the two of you getting together?
I'm uncomfortable when I make this comment. I'm not an attorney, but my interpretation of the statute is, if it's graded, that makes it an improved section lane. My interpretation of the statute, and this is subject to Jamie's approval, you can put a gate across a section line regardless of whether it's improved or unimproved. If it's unimproved, you don't need permission from the county commission as long as there's a gate. Once it's improved, then the county commission has to grant that approval. And it has to be reviewed on an annual basis. You don't just put a gate across an improved section line and say, I did my due diligence. You have to do it annually. Your question was what?
Could you and Terry go up there and
Yes.
just between the two of you have a recommendation?
Yes.
But I can see where Rick is going with this, because who's really liable here then? Is it the county or is it Rick? I can see Rick's point there. Why put the fence across it? Because that would be saying that you shouldn't go down it. You put a gate in on, I used to live out in the country too, but you put a gate in, it's telling me that I can go through there. So I can see really where Rick's coming from here. I mean, to me, you put a gate in, that's meaning that you can go through it. Am I kind of right there, Jim? I'm not saying it's legal to go through that, but when you put a gate there, I mean,
On a section line, I think it's legal, anybody can go through
but
it.
I mean, you don't know it's ahead of you.
That don't make any difference.
I know, but I can see whose problem is it? Is it Walworth County or is it Rick?
once you come out and you look at this and you're aware of the situation and what it exactly looks like, and you know there's an issue there, and you don't stop people from coming there or fix it, the county's gonna definitely be liable. I'm not a lawyer, but I can understand from dealing with, I've been mayor in Baldwin for 14 years, and I know exactly where this would go. And that is exactly where it would go, because once you're aware of a situation and you don't fix the problem, or put up signs and say you can't go through here, no outlet, no, whether it be, no road ahead or whatever, I don't know. But once you don't do that, and you know there's a problem there, somebody comes running through there because there's a gate there, because you're allowing them to go there, even if you put a gate in there and you put a sign up there and said there's no outlet through there, I think that might relieve your responsibilities. I don't know, but
I would think if you had a sign there that says no outlet or road underwater, closed to through traffic, whatever, you would pretty much cover yourself as far as.
well, that's the dumb part about it, because Campbell County was saying to me, it's like, well, if they open that gate and they go drive ahead and they see that they can't get through, they'll turn around and come back, they won't go in there again. I'm I'm like, well, but there's probably how many people, and maybe they won't see what's ahead of them up there because it's down a pretty sharp hill and you're getting to the bottom of that, you know, and the road's gone. I don't know, you know, and it's not that, that's not that the water's that high anymore that you've noticed it. It's just that, you know, it's portions of it are gone.
I would suggest have Gary and Terry go up there and just take a look at it and bring back the recommendations.
That's fine by me, you know, but for the time being, I guess, if your statutes are to be able to put a gate in there, you know, that's all that Campbell County's looking for now, and I think they have their meeting. They were gonna deal with it on January 5th, I think was the first Tuesday.
You gotta have other meetings.
by the end of the year.
Well, they gotta have a closing one, but they're going, you know, what he said is kinda right, but what their statutes read was if it's an improved road, and that's how they looked at this as being an improved road, then you have to jump through all the hoops of, before you can gate it actually to, an improved road was, a permanent lady up there was reading it out of her book deal, whatever, that any time it has been changed from its original structure, so like once they put ditches and brought it up, that makes it improved. That was the definition of that. You know, no matter when it was done or how long it's been since it's been fixed or graded, but it fell under that. So they need to do the petition and to do the public hearing and, you know, go through that whole statute of that. So they felt until I got the petition done, they need to advertise it in the paper and things. They weren't going to get it in by the end of December anymore. They wanted to put it off till January meeting. Well, it's going to be, it'll be down before then probably anyway. But the point I'm getting at is if you guys, do you guys meet again before that January 5th meeting? You have to have an end of the year meeting, don't you?
We meet the 15th and the 29th.
Okay. So I guess I'd be satisfied, and I don't know if I caught your name. Gary? You know, if he wanted to get a hold of me, you know, or my son-in-law or whatever, and I'd go up there and show you exactly where we're talking and whatever, and you know, the biggest part of it is on the, once you turn north and go on that Campbell County road, that's not, you know.
You mean a cell phone number, Rick?
Yeah.
Well, if you want it out publicly, do you?
I even got it in my memory bank. 15.
Yeah, there you go, see? Don't want it out in public, you know, being mayor for enough years, you don't think I get a lot of calls? Yeah, okay, that'd work, and then we can probably see if we can get on the agenda and see what you guys want to do after that, because we'll, I just look at it as a liability standpoint if we don't do something one way or the other.
Correct.
All right, we'll do that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
I got a utility easement to have you guys consider with Daryl and Diane Thompson. I don't have it with me unless.
Scott has it.
He's intending on tapping onto a private line and utilize the county highway system right away to go over the hill to a watering tank. I would approve it, or recommend you approve it. There's conditional that the line isn't to be placed at the elevation of the ditch. It has to be some elevation above the ditch line and the back slope to minimize the possibility of erosion. Darrell signed it. We're in receipt of a $250 check.
I can do it already.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm good with it, so. Scott, if you approve it, I need a signature, and I need Becky to attest to it soon, so we can get the receipt back to them.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second it.
Got a second, any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay, motion passed.
And keep going that.
We only keep pushing this now. Sorry about that.
He's already got a house in mortgage, I believe. We could, we've received one application that I'm circulating for the full-time highway department employee. My recommendation is that we offer the position to that individual. The rate is set by you people, but in my determination, the rate would be $18.56 an hour. And after 3 months, he would get a 50% pay increase to get him to $18.16 as the others are.
I would say that's up to you.
You got my recommendation.
That's what I thought.
I would say that would be up to you, and you should report to us who you hire. I would sure support you hiring him, but that's.
So I think I've been there that I want to hire this guy at $18.56 with, and this is subject to pre-employment drug and alcohol testing. And after 3 months, he'll get moved up to an $18.16.
For legislative audit, the name does have to be in the motion made for the wage approval.
Aaron Fiedler.
Becky, does that mean that we have to make a motion to,
Approve the wage for Aaron Fiedler.
I would so move. Approve that wage.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor, need a second? Got a second, any more discussion on that?
Just pending passing pre-employment drug and alcohol test.
Correct. Any other discussion? Yes, sir.
Kind of a dumb question, but can we do that being we don't have it on the agenda?
Scott added it to the agenda before the before the approval of the agenda. That was one of the things he added.
Consider hiring.
Okay, I saw that on, I was thinking we have the deal on for the wage.
I pass it around.
This stuff added.
All right, fine.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay, motion passed.
You're in the same situation with the handout, it wasn't on the agenda, but I think Scott put it on the agenda.
Yep.
And basically, that is the survey results of D3WM. That project that was proposed to be a grade raise that was somewhat rejected. You approved expenses up to $4,000, I think, is what the quote was for the services. To date, I think, don't hold me to it, but I think that came in at about $2,900. So we saved some money, and it's kind of subject to once your motion today is on providing that to you. Since tax dollars were used to provide the survey, you guys have an opportunity to review it. And the motion would be, upon review, authorize the highway superintendent to circulate that to the landowners involved in to that effect. You'll see the north and south road there on the front page. You will see that is the Blue Blanket Road where we were asked to put a culvert across that based on all the public hearings and things like that. You can reference the survey elevations on the east side. A bigger number means it's higher in elevation. It indicates that there's a flow there. In the event that we do put a culvert across, it won't provide any more pooling or less pooling than what exists today.
And then that is where you would go, is right where that the marks are?
I just got that yesterday or something, the stationing, station 14+00, that's the intersection of 125th and 307th.
300.
300, yep. The location of the culvert, the target elevation of the culvert, I think the recommendation was somewhere around station 350. It's on the third page. Install 48 in the plan profile. Install 48 feet of 18-inch corrugated steel pipe and 2 sloped ends at station 2+49. And that is from the intersection. From the intersection going, he doesn't have that broke out, does he? He's continuing. On page 2, it shows the stationing of 300th Avenue. That's the location,
Page 3, so.
station 2+49.
Right here.
Yep, 2+49 is the proposed location of the culvert.
If I remember right, during that hearing, I don't think that is right quite where the one person wanted the culvert to be installed, is it?
I don't recollect any conversation. We're talking on 300th Avenue, Scott, or are we talking on?
No, on 300.
I don't recollect there was any conversation as to where. I will indicate that this culvert install more than likely will not be at ditch elevation. It will be at higher. The drainage pipe is merely intended to, once the right-of-way line on the west side of 300th Avenue and north of 125th Street, once the water builds to where it reaches the elevation of the right-of-way and is collected in the drainage ditch into the pond on 300th Avenue, the culvert will start picking up any excess waters to minimize flooding, extended flooding, if I want to call it that. And we more than likely, I don't think we'll do it this year, but that equalizer pipe that's on 125th Street, that will more than likely be removed and reinstalled new. Because they did indicate that there is some silt there, but they feel it's still functioning.
Is there two that go across 125th now, or just one?
One that I'm sure of.
I remember one, I guess.
I think on page 2, you'll see that they likely found 2 of them on 125th Street. Referenced 18-inch CSP crossing at probably 3 plus 80, and the other at 5 plus 30. And basically that culvert install on station 300 will, it's, I probably shouldn't say it, but it will better define the water, the pool elevation on 125th. It will better define an upper limit of it, which would theoretically decrease the possibility of expanded. So if you recognize the word receipt of that, and if you authorize me to circulate it, I'd like to have those copies back unless you need the people. And any action with regard to placing the culvert will be subject to whether the landowners approve this, or at least have an opportunity to review the results.
Need a motion for that?
I so move.
I got a motion on the floor, I need a second. Second, any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay, motion passed.
So we did a motion on here, that's done, or did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
at $18.56 per hour for 3 months.
Yep.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Okay.
You have your monthly report. Anybody have any questions on the report?
That's what I wanted to see. Go ahead.
Lucas, this morning we've been talking and he's submitting a pay request to Wink Engineering today. And I already let Todd know that with Transource as well. So hopefully we can get that completely taken care of. We haven't received funding from FEMA back yet, so we might have to do a budget supplement to cover the budget because we didn't have the disaster budgeted for. But I'm gonna wait to see if we receive anything from FEMA because the highway department finally received theirs. We were right after them, so hopefully we'll get it before the end of the year. That could be an automatic supplement, so we wouldn't have to advertise. Don Tisdale emailed me the day before yesterday and gave us notice that we have to have everything out of the recycling center by January 1. They have different plans for the building. I spoke to him yesterday and he said he wishes he had another one he could lease us, but he don't. So we need to know what you guys would like us to do.
We discussed this already once.
Maybe we just got trying to sell that.
Well, if that's the way you wanna go, we can advertise and sell, but we've got the 2 balers, one's down right now, but we're gonna get parts to fix it today. The recycling center trailers, there's the forklift we wanna keep. But we just wanna make sure if that's what we're gonna do, we're gonna stop the program.
I would suggest
Most
put
people
it out.
use it. A lot.
Right, yep. We don't have any place to put the stuff.
Maybe leave the bales outside. After the bale. I talked to them, and they said there's no difference. If you live outside.
Where would we put them?
I don't know. Just a question.
We wouldn't have any room for the balers.
Recycling, put it in the door.
Does the city possibly have a place that it could be done?
What do they have in the old armory building?
Isn't that exactly what I said?
Yeah, I don't know what they do with that. You know, most places nowadays, they charge for recycling. People pay to recycle. So I don't know how to move forward. with this.
Probably what really helped, in my opinion, is when they probably moved it to Mobridge, that's where, I mean, it probably wasn't as much when it was out at the landfill,
Right.
my guess. So I would think that the city of Mobridge might want to take that and run with it.
Can we come anywhere close to covering our expenses? And we don't figure the cost of all the equipment?
As far as from here on out,
Yeah.
no, not with, we sold the cardboard and I can't remember exactly what we got, like, it was less than what it cost to ship it up there, to pay for the trucking.
Unfortunately, if you start charging to recycle, you know where that's gonna go.
No, I understand.
You know, the reason they're using recycling right now is it's a free option for them to get rid of their stuff. I mean, it all sounds good, that, you know, we're recycling, but I'll guarantee you it's more of a money issue than it's anything else. So we can take it here, we don't have to pay for it, we take it to landfill and we have to pay for it.
There's a lot of people that really are sold on this recycling. I mean, I don't think that's what they do.
I don't disagree with that, but I'll guarantee you if it comes to the point of charging to have a recycling, their idea of being sold on recycling is gonna change a lot.
I think if the rent wasn't in there, your income would help a lot. Wouldn't it?
Well, it would save $12,000,
Yeah, I mean,
but then we need a place to put stuff.
yes. Maybe we can talk to the city and get into that.
Would it be out of line just to give that whole operation to the city? Just
That's just
we would be out of the business. We'd lose a little money up front, but it would cut our losses.
They want it, but they won't take it.
Yeah.
So,
I got a feeling it comes right down to that same money issue.
You didn't know. You gotta ask.
well, I talked to one of the city council members and it didn't sound like they were interested at all, but
There's 5 of them.
But we're running out of time. I mean, I could understand if we would ask Mobridge but they would have to know now.
Yeah.
Either we gotta put it out on bid, or what would we do with it right now? I mean, I don't even know, I'm guessing that there's gotta be a lot of bales in there, my guess is full, ain't it?
Well, it's not full, but
No, but there's probably quite a bit.
there's probably about 12 bales of
Running
cardboard,
that.
and I don't know, probably about 30 plastic bales.
I guess my suggestion would be talk to Mobridge, and if they don't want it, put it out on bids. We gotta get something done before the end of the month.
Can you get the stuff baled, shipped out by then?
No. We're not gonna send a truck full of cardboard with only 12 bales. And the plastic, we don't have any place to send it.
Hey, they would have to just get set out in landfill regardless. Correct?
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to store it inside. Is there a place we could even put those bales?
Not really,
I don't think so.
really.
How many bales is a cardboard 4 semi?
How many did you load last time?
Boy, I,
Just be 30 at least, wouldn't it?
what's that?
30?
I'd say roughly 30 bales in the truck.
Similar, I think it's similar to like a hay bale, around hay bale. I would think so, because they gotta be what, when they're baled like that, they gotta weigh
About
1,500 pounds.
Or- Yeah, yep.
There's like, does Aberdeen, I mean, do they ship bale theirs up too? I'm just asking.
At the landfill?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'd have to ask them.
Well, I was just wondering, I mean, if maybe if they have, if you got 12 bales, you said? If the guy.
Doesn't Payless
No, but-
bale theirs too?
Yeah, they let us
Bale
know.
theirs?
You could work something out,
Possibly.
you could load out if you had to, that's where you do that.
Okay. Yeah,
You
you
should
should
get
hold
rid of
Josh.
cardboard that way. Get rid of that part.
But there's no place to store plastic?
We tried taking some to Aberdeen and then we ended up having to pay them to take it.
I think that will ever come back for the earth.
I don't know. You know, that plastic straws anywhere nowadays, so who knows?
I think
You would think with plastics, you could melt that stuff down and be able to recycle a lot of that stuff and reuse a lot of it in something.
Now maybe when we get back over it.
I'm gonna throw this out, I know it has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now, but I'm gonna tell you that recycling, I'm not sold on it because I'm gonna tell you they recycle brass. And that is by far the craziest thing there is. The quality is beyond terrible. There's a lot of stuff, I got holes in it that leaks right away in brass. So for the recycling part of it,
That's part
I'm
of
not
the,
sold on
I
it.
think that's part of the problem with the recycling process is the contaminations that go into it when they're melting like the plastics down. They can't get it pure enough to rebuild what they want to build.
The thought is good, but wow.
And I think if you're recycling light products, you know, like if it was all plastic bottles and that's the only thing that you can put in there, maybe something like that you could work, but when you start contaminating with other plastics or different things like that, I think that's probably where they become more of an issue.
Don't you sort the plastics, though, you do it.
You know, I'm sure they do, it's just,
In all reality though, let's say that it is the 25th of December. How many days would it take to empty that building out?
I don't know, probably if we hit it hard enough, we're gonna have to borrow.
Yeah, help and stuff, I know.
Well, we're gonna need a trailer to haul that big baler, because the one we have won't be able to handle it. It's too heavy.
The highway department provided something to move it out there, I guess.
Was that heavy?
Yeah. It's heavy. But everything else, I could probably get most of that out in a week. It's just that big baler.
What I was getting at is if we asked the city of Mobridge,
I would just, but like Kevin said, ask the city of Mobile if they want to not advertise for bids and
And we'll start moving it up. That gives you the whole month to.
Okay.
Yep.
Moving without a lot of time.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I
I think
think
if you're
that's,
in the armory for no cost, you can say, all time. They help walk.
Yeah.
Probably hang in there for a while.
I mean, to me, it's fine.
If the city would donate that, that would be a huge deal, though. I'd say if the city would donate the armory to move it into it, I mean, that would be a big deal too.
You get a place to store them outside. Next week, jail, so we're gonna take it slow.
And we do have somebody coming to get the metal pile in the next 2 weeks, I believe. And last we knew they were paying $30 a ton.
That's all metal is up to now.
Yep.
I don't go nowhere. Are you gonna let us know what Mowbridge tells you?
Yep.
Okay, then we'll go to number 22, consider motion to sign a joint agreement with VCOG for 2021.
I so move.
Okay, I got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second it.
Got a second, any more discussion on this?
Question, is this what we normally give so many dollars to in ECOG?
Yep.
What are we giving to them, do you know?
You guys approved it in the budget, but it should be listed in the paperwork there. It was 9,000 something.
$9,204.24.
Do we, I guess another question then, do we feel that we get $9,000 worth of benefit out of ECOG?
We did when we were doing that one planning deal, we helped out tremendously with that, but
On the zoning deal,
Yeah,
yeah.
zoning.
Some years we need them more than others. Really.
Sometime we should sit down and discuss that water runoff deal. You know, we kind of self-appointed us as, but we don't have any,
Oh, yeah.
Water-
The
Water Drainage Board.
Drainage Board.
but we don't have anything. There's no way we could make a determination because we don't have any rules or anything, so. And I would assume we would probably use them if we,
I guess my question was just whether or not is it really, are we getting our bang for the buck?
Like Kevin said, sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Yes, Becky?
Well, and we're gonna be getting a new compactor. We're gonna start on it in 2021, so that's gonna be a lot of grant paperwork and stuff that they assist with.
Yes, Deb.
I think if we use NECOG properly, they would help write up a lot of grants. I just don't remember what year it was, but they were beneficial in getting us, thousands of dollars worth of grants. But it's just a matter of somebody keeping in contact with them and using it correctly.
They're also assisting with the CARES reimbursement as well.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passed. Old business. New business.
move for adjournment.
We got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
One second.
Another second. All in favor say aye.
all right.